Whoa, it's crazy with the light here. It's like I'm like green. What the heck? Anyways, welcome guys. Welcome everyone. My name is Alan Lee and I am with Honestly Handyman Services out of Sacramento, California. And if this is your first video tuning in, thank you all for tuning in. I got a bunch of other videos on this YouTube channel. I would definitely love for you to check those out. Today we're going to be talking all about pricing. So pricing handyman jobs in particular. And through this, I'm going to be telling you guys stories of how I used to price, how I currently price, and how I came up with that, and kind of the lessons that I've learned along the way. This is a live stream video, so I'm going to be taking questions from the audience. So if you have any questions at all regarding pricing or anything having to do with starting up a handyman business or running one, I would definitely love to hear it and try and answer your questions for you. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to just welcome everyone here. I want you guys to just introduce yourself into the chat. Let me know who you are, where you're from, and what your handyman business is called, or if you don't have a handyman business yet, what you do for a living. I would definitely love to hear about what you guys are doing on a regular basis. So again, my name is Alan Lee. I would love to hear a little bit about who you are. I'm going to be reading the chat forum down here. So if I'm looking down there, that's why I'm doing that. So today we're going to be talking all about pricing. So in the little caption here, I got, all about handyman pricing, how to price jobs competitively. And that is exactly what we are going to be digging into today, is how to price jobs competitively so that you can stay competitive in the market. So a lot of times people have trouble getting and keeping jobs as a handyman and really making money because they don't know how to price handyman jobs. Now, it's probably the number one question that I get from people that want to start a handyman business is how to price a handyman job competitively, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So, hey, Pablo, welcome from San Antonio, PJP Handyman Services. Welcome, man. We got Michael Ambler from Ashland, Oregon. What happened with the 22-foot ceiling fan? So yeah, in the Handyman Journey Mastermind group, I posted a question about a ceiling fan that's 22 feet in the air, and how they would recommend me going about that, because I'm sure as heck not going to get on a ladder 22 feet in the air and replace that ceiling fan. I could just see myself, you got to kind of hold it there while you're climbing down the ladder with one hand, and it just seems horrible. So I ended up writing the estimate for the guy, and I left that ceiling fan out, and I posed it to him. I said, hey, we're going to need to come up with some idea to do that ceiling fan. I don't know if you have, I asked him if he had scaffolding or things like that. I know I could purchase scaffolding, but I've never really had a need for it. So it's either I posed the question that we could get scaffolding or we could rent a scissor lift. And I'm going to kind of leave it up to him because I'm not in a position where I want to buy scaffolding. I don't need it for anything else. So it wouldn't really be something that would be something in my wheelhouse. So if he doesn't want to go the scissor lift route, I mean, that's something I could rent for $150 here in Sacramento for the day. And I could bring that in. He's got a pretty big house, so it's pretty accessible. But if he doesn't want to go that route, then he's going to have to get someone else to replace that ceiling fan because it's just too much liability to go for that myself. So we got Marvin Rodriguez from Annapolis, Maryland. No company name yet. Welcome, man. So what kind of work do you do? I mean, what do you specialize in? We'd love to kind of help you come up with a name. That'd be kind of fun. So we got Darren says, hey, what's going on? Missed the last live stream, but made it for this one. Hey, welcome, man. This is going to be a great live stream. We're going to be talking all about pricing, so super excited for y'all to be here. I got a quick question for you guys real quick, the few that are on here. Do you guys watch any vloggers like on YouTube? Do you guys watch anyone that does a daily vlog like Casey McKinnon or Cody Wayner or anyone like that? Do you guys watch anyone like that? Sorry, this video seems to be buffering. I guess I'm having some bad connection here apparently. But do you guys watch anyone that does vlogging, daily vlogging? Because I'm kind of interested in the concept of that and have a question regarding that. But anyway, so let's get in. We're going to get into this topic about pricing. And as we're going on, feel free to introduce yourself. Let me know who you are, where you're from, what kind of business you're running. I would definitely love to hear it. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to ask them. I would definitely love to answer them. So we got Ryan Pounds from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and get into this pricing guide here. So when you are pricing jobs, first off, I want to mention that we are having a Sacramento Meetup. The Handyman Journey is having a Sacramento Meetup Friday, August 24th at 6 p.m. See, I found out how to get this thing on the screen this time instead of last time I didn't know how to get it on the screen. So the Handyman Journey Mastermind Group on Facebook is having a meetup in person Friday, August 24th at 6 p.m. In Citrus Heights, actually. It's going to be at Roundtable Pizza at 7943 Greenback Lane in Citrus Heights, 95610. So if you guys are around the Sacramento area, I would definitely love to meet you all and get to know you and just hear a little bit about your story. So we will be doing that. I'll be talking about it more as we go. So let's get back into these questions here. Interior decorated, but they paint the most of the time. Okay, so you do an interior decoration, but you paint most of the time. Okay, so like painting with Marvin. I like that. That's kind of cool. Pricing can be stressful. Gilbert is from Arizona, so welcome, man. What do you charge for a trip charge? We are going to be answering that in this video here about trip charges and things like that. Tom is in Southern California. Alex says, hey guys, welcome. Alex, where are you from? I would love to hear about where you're from and also the name of your business and things like that. I'm going to bring up another picture here. So we are going to be talking about pricing today and all about that. And we had one question. It was specifically about trip charges. And so for trip charges, I kind of roll that into my job cost. So I don't necessarily do a trip charge per se. So like on estimates, I don't say, oh, well, you live here, so it's going to be, this much extra money. I don't necessarily say that. Although that is definitely one way to do it. You can definitely charge, per trip or whatever. And so, sorry guys, I'm doing this real quick. So real quick, like this video if you haven't liked it. That would be much appreciated. Let's see here. Pablo says, you price hourly or by the job. Who do you use to get prices? Alex is in Riverside. Welcome, Alex. So, okay, let's get right into this pricing guide here. So this is what I'm going to show you guys right here on the screen is some super good information that I have kind of gathered together as I was really struggling with this pricing question and how to determine, and really it's all about how to determine your hourly need is what I call it. So it's not an hourly rate. You're not charging by the hour. You're charging by the job. This is at least how I do it. So I charge by the job, but you definitely need to know what your hourly need is. So you need to kind of know your hourly rate in order to charge by the job. And the way that you find that is you create two categories. You create a business expense category and then a personal expense category. So in your business expense category, you're going to want to list all your business expenses, including your taxes, your licensing fees, your general liability insurance, etc., things like that. And then on the personal expenses side, this is obviously going to differ for every person, depending on like if you're married, if your wife works, if she stays at home, this and that. So you're going to want to include things like cost of living, so your mortgage, and this is kind of the percentage to be paid by your income. So obviously, if your wife works and maybe she makes $100,000 a year, she can cover all of the mortgage, and that's not going to be included in this hourly rate, which is perfectly fine. For me, my wife is a stay-at-home wife. She does have an at-home business, so some of that does go towards mortgage and living expenses. But predominantly, I'm what you call the breadwinner, I guess. So then you're going to include things like medical insurance, home insurance, etc., things like that. Like if your wife has a car, grocery bills, things like this. And a lot of times people have a big issue. People have a big issue with putting your personal expenses into your hourly need. But really, if you think about it, if you're going to take a job, say at McDonald's, and you need, say, $20 an hour over a 40-hour week to survive, to pay your minimum expenses to live off of, you're not going to take a job for $15 an hour if you need $20 an hour for that 40-hour work week, are you? You're going to go find a better job. That's exactly what determining this hourly need is as a handyman, is you need to provide for yourself and your family, and this creates a way to do it. I'm going to answer a few of these questions here, and then we're going to get right back into this. So let's see here. High Ridge is from Connecticut. Welcome, man. Michael, he echoes that pricing is very stressful. I would definitely agree. I have a flat rate trip charge of $49.99 and after hours weekends $89.99. I usually give an estimate over the phone if I can. If I have to go out to a job and see it, then I feel them out over the phone and see if they are serious or just getting quotes from a tons of people. That's what Darren R says. High Ridge Handyman says, I have a gate replacement I have to do in a few days. I'm going to try your method and I will let you know how it turns out. I would love to hear it, High Ridge Handyman. I would love to hear how that works out. Michael Ambler says, usual trip charge is $1 per mile one way to offset expenses. Awakened Dusk says, hello from PA. Great information. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. So just to pose my question real quick again, is do any of you guys watch vloggers on YouTube? Do you guys watch like Casey Neistat or Peter McKinnon or Cody Weiner or anything like that? What do you guys think about that whole vlogging thought, like a daily video that kind of documents your day? I got kind of an idea on that, but I would love to hear you guys' opinion on that. That's kind of off topic of pricing, but anyways, let's get back into this pricing. So we've determined your business expenses and then your personal expenses. Now, these are going to differ for every person. So that's why when someone asks me, what should I charge for replacing a toilet? Well, it really matters on what your hourly need is. And that's something that only you can determine. So what you're going to do is you're going to add up your business expenses and your personal expenses. You're going to divide that by your billable hours per month. So these aren't the hours that you are working and the hours that you're writing estimates. These are your billable hours. So these are actual hours that you have like an impact gun in your hand and driving screws or a hammer in your hand and you're hitting nails. Like these are the hours that you are working. So, and then you're going to want to take that and then add, so you're going to divide your business expenses by your billable hours per month. I like doing month rather than week because sometimes the weeks can vary. Sometimes one week you can, maybe you have one day off and the next week you're working all 5 days. So your hours are kind of skewed. But if you take a month, it gives you kind of a good average for to do that. So let's see. So then you're going to want to take that number that you have and you're going to want to add 20% for business growth. Now this includes things like business goals. So say maybe you want to buy a new truck in a year. You want to buy a new trailer. You're saving up for a really nice tool that you're going to need that's going to make you some more money. So this 20% is for business growth. And I think that is very important because if you're not determining or factoring in business growth, then you're actually dying. Because the number that you get from adding up your business and personal expenses and dividing that by your billable hours per month is actually your break-even number. So that's the number that you barely need to survive. That will cover just your expenses. So you need to add 20% for business growth. And then on top of that, I recommend adding 20% profit. Now this gets you your hourly need as a handyman. And I like to go with 20% profit because that way you know that you have that kind of written in the estimate. So if you do need to offer any kind of discount at all, or even if the job takes a little bit longer than you originally thought, you're going to have that 20% profit to fall back on. And this profit is just going to, it's long-term sustained growth and also something kind of a nest egg that you could have in your business and use it for different means. For me personally, we're currently working on investing the money that we have profited from the handyman business throughout the last few years. So there's many different things you could do with that 20% profit, but that is what I highly recommend for getting your hourly need as a handyman. And here in the bottom right-hand corner, I do have an in-depth handyman pricing course, and that also it thoroughly explains how to come up with your hourly need like we're talking about here, but it really goes in deep. I pull you into my computer, I show you my exact numbers, and I show you guys exactly how I determine my hourly need and what it is. And then it also goes into how to track that hourly need to make sure that hourly need is the same and is sustaining you month by month and year by year, and how to continue your growth of a handyman business. And you could find that in-depth pricing course at www.handymanjourney.com. So I have that for you guys if you guys are interested in that. So I'm going to go back here and answer some of the questions. That was a lot of information about pricing. I'm going to see what you guys were saying about that. And yeah, that was a lot of information. So I'm super excited to give you all that. I'm going to see what you guys said about that. So let's see here. Matthew Ortiz says, I charge for an estimate, but if I get to the job, I include it in the price. So yeah, if he gets the job, he includes the charge for the estimate in the job price. That's definitely one way to do it, is say you charge like 15 bucks for an estimate. And then if they do buy the work, then that $15 just gets rolled into the estimate. That's definitely one way to do it. So that's what Matthew Ortiz does, and that works great. So Pablo says, blogging is great, man. I think it's a good idea to do vlogs. Would love to see you do actual work and how your jobs go. Yet Darren says that he would love to see my jobs and how they go. So Darren, I do have a lot of videos on specifically how, like, working videos. I post a working video every Monday. But the vlog that I have an idea of is a little bit different. And I'll kind of explain that a little bit more to you guys a little bit later, but I would love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on the vlogging experience. Hired Handyman says you should do it. Marvin Rodriguez says, got to go, but so far everything you already talked about was very helpful. Thank you, man. Hey, Marvin, we will see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Chris Hayes says, how do you figure your billable hours per month? That's a good question, and really that comes the majority with experience. So for billable hours per month, typically it's fairly low compared to like a 40-hour work week. It's not going to be a 40-hour work week. A lot of people as a handyman, they think, well, if I want to make this much in a week, so I should divide it by 40 hours. You're not going to be working 40 hours a week as a handyman. I mean, you're going to have to do, well, I guess you could, right? But then you're going to be writing estimates all night and all weekend probably. Like, you're going to be super swamped with just the back end work, because owning a business, it's not all front end work. There's a lot of back end work, a lot of overhead, as you call it. So for me, my billable hours per month are somewhere around like 40 hours per month. And I know that seems pretty low, but those are billable hours, so that factors into my my hourly need as a handyman. So it's important to kind of track those. And in that course, that in-depth pricing course, I go very in-depth how to track those and figure out all those exact numbers for you. Let's see here. Darren R. says, I figure out my monthly expense for each month, including everything from food to bills to gas, and try to make double that each month, so I know I'm in good in case of a slow period. That's a great way to do it. Russ, how you doing, man? Russ says, got your card in the mail. Thank you. Saw you signed Harper Lee's name. Did you name her after the author of To Kill a Mockingbird? Hey, Russ, super excited to have you here. Thanks for joining in, man. Yeah, I just sent you a card because you sent me a great letter the other day. My daughter's name is Harper Lee because my last name is Lee. So I'm like, we kind of got to go with the Harper Lee. It kind of just fit in perfectly. But so she is partly named after the author Harper Lee. But I always say she's going to be way better than Harper Lee because she is Harper J. Lee. Her middle name is Juliana. But yeah, super excited about that. We love her name. But there's also a more in-depth story into why we named her Harper. And just, yeah, a really encouraging story. So I'll get more into that some other time. But yeah, thanks for noticing. She is partially named after To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. Justin says, hey, I'm very interested on how to set up a website, and can you do it for free, or how much does it cost? Hey, Justin, that is a great question. I would refer you to go to handymanwebdesign.com. And I'll write that here in the little chat forum. Let's see, so handymanwebdesign.com was designed for handyman. And I had a lot to do in kind of the collections of that, and just offering advice into that. And it's a really great platform. It's how my website was made, and it's geared specifically towards handyman and what they need out of a website. And it's fairly inexpensive. I would highly recommend you just check it out. You can go there and you can you can request a kind of some more information about it, and you'll get a free marketing guide. I would highly recommend you check that out. You can kind of get more information on what it costs there. You can talk to my good friend Jason Call, and he's got a wealth of information about creating websites and things like that. Mark says, great info. I need to charge more. I've been bumping my price slowly. Looks like I need to figure out what I need by your formula. Thanks. Man, welcome, man. You're welcome. Pete, the handyman, says pricing needs to take into consideration the going rate for similar jobs in your area. In other words, you need to be competitive. Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, that's definitely something that you need to factor in. I mean, if you figure this out and your hourly rate is like $150 per hour, but there's handymen around you that are only charging like $40 an hour, obviously you need to figure something out. You need to cut something or do something, or offer a higher specialized skill that will make people want to hire you. But that's a pretty big gap to fill. So I definitely agree with you, Pete, is that you need to take that into account, is making sure that you are competitive in your pricing. So Awaken says, what state are you located in? What are your top 5 services that customers ask you to do? So Awaken Dusk, I have a lot of YouTube videos answering that specific question. One that comes to mind is the top 10 most profitable handyman jobs that I do as a handyman. I'm here in California, by the way, Sacramento, California. And so my top 5, I would say and it really depends on kind of your area and the weather. I think it has a lot to do with the weather. So lately, it's been super hot here in California. My biggest job that I've been asked to do is either sprinkler repair or ceiling fan replacement. Those are probably the 2 biggest. During winter time, say we got a lot of storms, it's definitely fence repair. I've done, it's always something new. That's what I like about it. A lot of faucet replacements right now. I think because the economy is pretty good right now. I think a lot of people are kind of doing kind of little improvements, replacing faucets, replacing door handles, making things look nicer, replacing ceiling fans, replacing light fixtures, things like that. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that stuff. So that's particularly what I do, is kind of handyman punch list jobs. I got a lot of videos here on my YouTube channel that you can check out that are all based on the jobs that I do here in California, kind of the punch list jobs. Matthew Ortiz says, Justin, you can do it for free, but you need to pay for hosting, which is about $6 to $9 a month. That's definitely true. You can create a website for free. If you know a little bit about web design and things like that, you could definitely go into that route. But you do have to pay for hosting through like GoDaddy or whatever. WF Drum says, good day, mate. For some reason, most of handyman jobs I'm getting are painting projects here in Ennis, Texas area. Let's see here. Chris Randall. Do you ever hire help for certain jobs? So painting is definitely a good project to do, and yeah, it all depends on kind of your area and what the need is for that area. And painting may be a huge thing that is needed right now in your area, and that's cool. So do you ever hire help for certain jobs? Last year, I had an independent contractor that worked for me. I reached out to him this year, and he wants to come back and work for me. He had some health issues, so we're waiting for him to kind of get that settled out, and then we're going to hire him back on. Hey, Awaken Dust, thanks for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoy the content that I produce. I try and make stuff that is helpful to people that want to get started as a handyman, or maybe are a handyman and grow their business bigger. That's kind of my vision and my goal in life. So I really appreciate you subscribing. Masked Mage says, your videos help a lot. Keep it up. Thanks a lot, man. Hey, let's pause real quick, and if you haven't yet, like this video. It's very important to get likes on the videos. They really help my this video get seen by a lot more people. So if you haven't liked this video, I would really appreciate you guys just to quickly go and just click the like button. If you've already clicked it, don't click the like button again because it will unlike it. But if you haven't liked it yet, please click the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you all so much. I see my likes are already growing right now in this video, so thank you guys so much for that. Chris Randall says, from Corona, CA, funny, I just cleared out my drain for the ice maker that was frozen over and leaking. Hey, yeah, man, it's funny. I just posted that video So about my ice maker. So I did that on Monday. Awaken says clear and concise. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I try and do everything I can in a clear way that people can understand. Yeah, Chris, man, you should have made a video and posted it, dude. I would have loved to see that. Let's see. So go with the Handyman Web Design. So Pablo says to go with the Handyman Web Design. Dude, I would agree. The handymanwebdesign.com, it's been a kill. It's been a game changer for me. If you go over to, actually here on YouTube, if you search Handyman Web Design, there's actually, they have their own YouTube channel, and there's a testimonial of me talking about my website and how I really like it. So you can go over and check that out on YouTube. Just type in Handyman Web Design, and you can find their YouTube channel, and you can see where I am on there, and I did a little review of them, so you can see what I have to say. Do you think it's smarter to hire help for certain jobs or just do all the work by yourself? So WF Drum, that's a great question. Whether it's smart to hire help on certain jobs or just do the work yourself. You got to factor in your profit. So say you are doing not here in California because things are a little bit different in the laws regarding handyman. But if you're doing like a $2,000 job, right? And you can do that job and it will take you 2 days, right? And you will profit, say you'll profit $1,500 off that, or whatever. And so, or let's just say to make it even, you'll profit $2,000 off this job. It'll take you 2 days, by yourself. Or you could hire a guy and pay him, say even $15 an hour or $20 an hour. You can hire him and get it done in 6 hours. Then heck yeah, it's way worth it to hire the guy. Hire a guy for something that's going to get you more profit quicker so you can get on to the next job. That's really smart. Now, if you can do that $2,000 job in 1 day and hiring a guy is going to be too expensive and just absorb all your profit, then by all means don't hire the guy. But if it's definitely makes sense like that, then I would definitely go for it. Yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents into it. So Pablo says that Jason Call from Handyman Web Design did his website. He says it is the best price, and you will find the best price you will find for Handyman Web Design. I would definitely agree. Let's see here. Awaken Dust says hit the like, and we'll be spending a few more hours watching your videos. Hey man, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Awaken. Super excited that you are interested in what I'm talking about, because after all, that's what I'm here for. So Masked Mage says, is it worth to invest into your company before it is started over time? Such as gathering the more expensive tools and stuff, or better to just buy all at once when you start? So that's a good question, Masked Mage. He's asking basically, should you invest into your business and just buy all these tools at the very beginning, or buy them as you go? So that's a very good question, and that's something that could really make or break you as a handyman. You don't want to just buy everything all at once. You never want to go into debt in this business. What you want to do, what I did, is you want to just buy things for jobs that are needed. So for instance, I had a Milwaukee M12 impact driver, the really small one. And I used that on a lot of handyman jobs until I had a handyman job that I needed a bigger one. The M12 just didn't have enough torque to do it. So I actually made a profit of $200 on that one handyman job. So I went and I bought the $200, I think it was $198 kit with the Milwaukee M18 impact gun, the charger, and an extra battery. And I still use that thing today. So it's important to only buy things that are going to make you money. So you don't want to, like, for instance, go out and buy a really expensive hammer drill if you're only going to use it 2 times in a year. You know what I mean? Like, that would make more sense to just rent one, or buy a cheaper one when you need it. You definitely don't want to buy things all at once. You want to kind of buy them as you go. Even as much as your tool trailer. Operate in the back of your truck as long as you can. But once you get a tool trailer, it totally changes the game. But don't invest when you don't have the money from the get-go, because in the handyman business, especially if you follow this strategy of adding 20% for business growth and 20% for profit onto your hourly need, you are going to have more than enough money to buy the tools that you need when you need them. If you don't add these things and you just charge, say, a number that you pull out of thin air. When I first started in this business, I pulled a number out of thin air of $50 an hour, and I'm like, I'm going to charge that. because that sounded great, right? I came from a place where I was making 22 bucks an hour. So to go to a place where I'm making 50 bucks an hour was killer. But then after I did my numbers, I found out that I was severely undercharging for my area and my need. So if you only charge what your base need is and kind of what a number is out of thin air, you're never going to have enough money for the tools that you need. But if you add that 20% business growth in there and 20% profit, you're going to have more than enough to buy any tool that you need when you need it. So that's what's important. So it all starts with pricing. That's why this is such an important topic to cover. So let's see here. Darren R says, buy what you need when you need it. Also buy the best quality you can afford. Darren, you are spot on, man. Buy the best quality you can afford. That's so important. If you're going to the store and you need to buy an impact gun, right? You don't want to buy just the cheapest one there because it's the cheapest one there. You want to buy the best that you can afford. So you're going to want to do research. I remember when my circular saw died, I had a really old like Black & Decker circular saw, and I needed to buy a new one. And I was actually looking at like a Harbor Freight one. And my wife's like, well, look at something a little bit better. So I did research and found out Milwaukee had the best one at the time. So I went and I bought a pretty expensive Milwaukee one. Probably at the highest that I could afford at the time, but I still use that thing today. Buy the best you can afford. It really lasts. So RPG 37 says, hey from Arizona. Welcome, man. Glad to have you. Chris Hayes says, buy as you need it. Debt can be a business killer. Dude, so true. Chris Hayes says, debt can be a business killer. That is so true. Chris Randall says, Alan, since you were an auto mechanic for years, did you ever consider or do you do appliance repair with your handyman services? I don't do much appliance repair. I've never really been interested in a lot of appliance. I posted a video on Monday of me replacing or repairing my ice maker on my freezer at my house here. But other than that, I don't really do any appliance repair. I've torn apart a few dryers and replaced the belts and whatnot, but predominantly it's not something that I offer just because it's not really something that excites me. So yeah. Michael Ambler echoes what Chris Hayes says buy as you go. Very important, very important. Awakened Dust says tools that you use a lot, invest in the best, such as DeWalt or Milwaukee power tools. Yeah, man, that's so true. I love Milwaukee. I got Milwaukee everything. But that's just me. I don't know, some people say I could be a kind of a brand whore towards Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee and just, yeah, I love it. Massamage says, good info. I will have to buy as I go and do it that way. Some of the bigger tools cost so much that I can usually only get one at a time. Yeah, that's true, man. They do cost a lot. Very little money in appliance repair. So Gil Lynn says that there's very little money in appliance repair. It's fairly cheap to buy a new whatever these days, you know. I mean, you could get a new dishwasher for X amount of dollars, you know, why pay someone, you know, their hourly rate to fix it? At least that's my standpoint. So that's definitely a good point. So I got a video coming out on Friday, which is in 2 days, right? I'm pretty excited about this video. This is a little screenshot of the video, and I did an interview with one of my followers here on YouTube, actually. So he's a handyman called Eric Smithers with Simix Home Services in Dallas, Texas. And I was there in Dallas a few weeks ago for a business seminar, and I did an interview with him. I did a few interviews with him. So actually, for the next few weeks, you'll probably see his face quite often because there's quite a few interviews that are going to be coming out with him in there. Super wise guy, super awesome. He just moved to Dallas, Texas from Georgia, and he's got some super great stories. Just started up a handyman service, so it was really cool to bounce questions off him. Kind of ask him questions. He asked me questions. In this particular video, we talk about the importance of having a group of like-minded people and using that to grow your handyman business from the inside out. So I got that video coming out on Friday, and the quote that he uses and loves is, "The road to success is always under construction." So that's such a true thing to think about because you don't just get there one day. You don't just start a handyman business and you are automatically successful. The road to success is always under construction. You are always going to be working on your handyman business. You are always going to be working to become the successful person that you know that you can be. So just super excited to release this video on Friday. I hope you all will tune in and share it with your friends, because it's going to be a really cool, informative video where I actually talk to another handyman and kind of hear a little bit about how they operate and, you know, how they price, things like that. And again, the videos in the next few weeks will cover more topics along those lines of pricing and marketing and things like that. But super excited about this, so make sure you share. And again, sharing these videos, guys, really helps a lot, because for me, starting this handyman business changed my whole life. So what I want to challenge you guys to do is share my YouTube videos on like your Facebook or Instagram, because you never know who out there might be wanting to start a handyman business, and it might change their life entirely. So you can offer someone like hope and like destination and vision, and just excited, man. This, I'm serious, guys. It might sound corny, but the handyman business to me is much more than just a business. It's a lifestyle. So share these videos if you haven't yet. Would really appreciate it, and you could change someone's life. WF Drum says, I buy stuff, supplies, tools from Home Depot that I need for jobs, and when I'm done, I return to Home Depot, and I don't get questioned on anything when I return. Dude, WF Drum, that's so true. I do the exact same thing. When I'm at Home Depot, I buy a crap load of stuff. Like say I always buy like half of more than what I need. So say I'm installing 2 doorknobs, right? I will buy 4 doorknobs, and then in case one of those doorknobs doesn't work, then I have 2 backups. And so I'm always buying and returning things at Home Depot. So it's never hurts to buy things and then just return them. Home Depot's great with that. Yeah, Darren echoes that. Home Depot is the best for returns. I would third that. I always shop there or supplies when I can. Milwaukee 5-year warranty, and join their club to log in all tools in case of theft. Yeah, man, I love Milwaukee, Michael. Milwaukee's the best. Awaken says, looking forward to that video on Friday. Gonna be super great. Great quote, motivating. Will be sharing. Dude, I would appreciate that. How many jobs? It varies. It would vary for every person. My schedule is 1 day a week. I always do an estimate day. So, for instance, Monday was my estimate. So I went from person to person, house to house. Figuring out day is an estimate day. So I apologize for the lagging of this video. Apparently, I'm having some connection issues. So sorry about that. Yeah, but so I do one estimate day a week, and then I work 4 days a week. So like I work today, I'm gonna work tomorrow. I'm gonna work Friday. I work Tuesday, and then Monday was my estimate day. That was kind of backwards. I don't know why I said it that way, but anyway, so that's how many jobs I take a day. And so some days I'm doing 2 or 3 jobs. Some days I'm only doing 1. Like today I only did 1 job. Tomorrow I think I have 2 jobs, and then I have 1 on Friday. So it all depends on kind of the length of the job, how big it is, things like that. I can already see how passionate you are about the handyman business. So Awaken, I am super passionate about it. You don't even know, man. It's crazy. Darren asks, do you stock any sort of common parts in your rig? For instance, basic fittings for plumbing. Yeah, man, I do. I have like P-trap essentials. I have angle stop valves. Let's see. I have like electrical wire. I have receptacles. I have switches. I have sprinkler PVC. Fittings and things like that. Some sprinklers, like like 360, 190, 180. I stock a few things, but typically not a whole lot. Screws, obviously, nails. Trying to think of what else I stock. That's pretty much about it. I really don't stock that much, but I kind of have the basic necessities, because whenever I do a job, I'm literally like 2 minutes from Home Depot, which is sweet about where I live. So I'm always going to Home Depot all the time. So I'm not worried about not having parts or whatnot. So what do you guys, let's see, we're going to be ending this live stream here in a little bit. But first off, I wanted to talk about kind of my vlogging idea. So, before we talk about vlogging, what you guys think, if you guys watch vlogs, I was thinking about what's engaging and what people want to see. And so I was thinking of this idea called a vlog. It sounds crazy. Okay, it'd be like a work vlog. So a work vlog blog. Like if I committed, so I'm not committing, but it's just an idea. I literally had this driving home from work today, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I just want to hear your guys' opinion. So if I did a vlog like every day for a month where I recorded the jobs that I did that day and then talked a little bit about the jobs and talked a little bit about how I'm applying some of my handyman like things that I apply into the handyman business on a daily basis, like things that have helped me out, things that I'm learning, things that I'm trying to incorporate, things that have really helped out my handyman business to grow in the past, and what I have planned for the future, and also putting in like the jobs that I'm working on per day. So you guys get every day tune in and see the jobs that Honestly is working on and get a little bit of insight into your handyman business every single day for a month. I mean, this would take the place of the videos that I'm currently posting, but I'm just interesting to you guys. Just kind of a question. Yeah, so Darren says that he would watch each and every one of them. I think it would make your channel grow and attract a lot of new viewers. That's kind of what made me think of this. Is I want to help more people, and I want to get my voice out there where I can help people out, because I feel like I've been given a really good platform here to help people start a handyman business. Because like I said, this handyman business has totally changed my life, and I want to share this with like the world. Like, because where I was 2 years ago was a crappy place. I was in a place where I was literally living paycheck to paycheck. My wife and I were struggling. In our marriage, we were struggling financially. And this business, along with the personal growth that has developed me to create this business, has really changed our lives. And so I'm excited to share that with other people. So this idea of a work vlog, where I'm working every day and showing you guys what I'm doing every day, and then also giving business insight tips every day for a month, is kind of an interesting idea. It would take a lot of work. Now's the best time to do that because we just had a baby. I'll read what you guys are saying about this. So Awakened Dusk says, yes, like the idea. In other words, the process. So he likes the process. WF Drum says, I can't afford an enclosed trailer for tools yet, but I have an old 2-horse trailer that I use for tool trailers from time to time. Hey, that works, WF Drum. Definitely a horse trailer works great for hauling around tools, not a problem. Again, I apologize for this buffering. I don't know why I'm having such bad internet connectivity today, but thanks for joining in. Hey, Eric, I got a picture for you, man. This right here, Eric, this is you, man. This is going to be the cover of my video coming out this Friday, man, with your quote of "The road to success is always under construction." Dude, Eric, it was so great talking with you in Dallas, Texas. I'm so excited to launch this video on Friday, and I'm excited because, like, talking with you was so great because I got to talk to another handyman that had a lot of insight into the handyman business and kind of the workings of it. In this particular video that I'm posting on Friday, we're going to be talking about the importance of being around like-minded people and being surrounded by people that will actually help you grow your handyman business and encourage you. So super excited about that. Eric Smithers is here from Simix Handyman Services out of Dallas, Fort Worth. So let's see here. Pete the Handyman says, I have no life, so I would watch it. Go for it. So Ben Cutler says, how do you handle telling people a number bigger than they are expecting, where you know you are going to tell them something they hate? So Ben, this is something that I struggled with until I realized that I am a professional handyman and I have an hourly need. So again, I'll just post this real quick. This is how you determine your hourly need. We went over this earlier. Once you establish this hourly need and know that this is what you need, then you're not going to be afraid to give someone a price that's higher than maybe what they're expecting. Because this is, honestly, the best price that you can give them without suffering yourself. So if someone is worried about your pricing and they are struggling with paying what you need, and they want you to give them a discount, you're basically taking food off of your wife's table or taking food away from your kid to help them with their job that they need. I mean, is that really fair? Like, you got to think about, what's more important, like your family's like well-being or helping someone out who doesn't want to pay what you're worth. You know, so it's important to know exactly what you need for sure. So let's see here. What app do you use for invoice and estimates? Andrew Parker asks. So Eric says Joist. We use Joist. So let's see. Checkout, home invoice. It's the easiest one I've found yet. I won't use any other. So yeah, home invoice is definitely another one to use out there. What about future work or future reference? So Ben, that's true. But if someone wants you to pay less than what you're worth as a handyman, do you really want their referral? I know that's kind of hard to hear, and believe me, I'm not trying to be like a mean guy, because I really truly care about people and their needs. But you got to think about the kind of person that you're working with, and you got to know how to establish your ideal customer as a handyman, because that's very important. There's a lot of people out there that need handyman work, but not everyone is your customer. Not everyone is your ideal customer. I know that sucks, especially when you're first starting, because you need everyone to be your customer. You need to make a lot of money. So in the beginning, you need to work for everyone and their mother, you know, and you're going to have some crappy stories. I just released a video talking about my 5 worst handyman jobs since I've been in business. And I posted that last Friday, and I got some pretty funny stories in there of kind of how I came on this path to determine what my ideal customer looks like. And so in that video, I talked about a few customers that were definitely not my ideal handyman customer, and kind of how I suffered from that. So if you guys want to check that out, I would definitely love for you guys to check that out as well. So let's see here. Like-minded customers share like-minded friends. Dude, Eric, that is true. Kind of, what do they say? Birds of a whatever. Birds of a feather flock together, something like that. So like, yeah, if you got a low baller, he's probably all his friends are gonna be low ballers, you know, which is cool. I mean, that's whatever. I'm not judging the person for that. I'm just saying, like, what's your ideal customer, you know? And what does that look like? It's really important to determine what your ideal customer is, and maybe even draw an avatar of what that person looks like, what their name is, where they shop, where they went to school, what they do for work, and really narrow down who your ideal customer is. Let's see. Darren R says, tell them after the job is done, they will call you back for future work because you are worth what you charge. Yeah, that's true. Ben Cutler, I just got into this building my base, and I get it, man, just kind of waiting what's worth what. Yeah, man, that's true. It's a hard thing to do. Eric says, focus on good paying customers, and they in turn will refer good paying friends and loved ones. Dude, that's so true. Ben says, and their mother is the perfect customer. Dude, so true, yeah. But I've had a lot of my customers that are my ideal customers, and they refer me to their friends, and they are the best customers ever. So I got to get going, guys. I've really appreciated my time with y'all. If you guys haven't yet, like this video, and I hope you guys learned a little bit about pricing tonight. Again, this is the kind of the equation to determine your hourly need. And again, I have a very in-depth handyman pricing course at www.handymanjourney.com that goes really in-depth into pricing and determining your hourly need and everything that is needed in that, and also how to track your hourly needs so that you know that your hourly need is actually covering all your expenses, so that you can maintain a good profitability and a good business growth for your handyman business and provide a better life for your family, and also help more customers out while you're at it. So I really appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. Thank you all so much. Check out my video on Friday. Remember, it's going to be an interview with another handyman from the Handyman Journey Mastermind Group, Eric Smithers. And again, that the road to success is always under construction. You guys remember that. You guys always need to continue learning. Never stop learning, because life is a journey and you guys will always be growing. So set up online booking for present prices per hour. Yes. What's the one tool you think everyone overlooks? What's the one tool everyone overlooks? I don't know. That's a good question. I would say the multi-tool. I love the multi-tool. It's good for everything you need. Charge estimate prices and deduct from job sign on. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. So charge them like $20 for an estimate, and then deduct that if they sign on for the job. That's definitely one way to do it. Eric, you're a smart guy. Awaken Dust says, good night. Thank you. God bless you and your family, man. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you all on Friday. And then I got a video coming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with a live video every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you all so much, and I hope you guys have a fantastic night.